Okay.
Okay. I have no idea how that works. I just know that it's an option, and it says it's recording now.
Yes, it's recording, so we'll see how it goes. Angie's here. Jamie's
Good.
here. Great. Tori's here. All right.
All right. Hey, Angie.
Wonderful.
Hey, y'all.
Good morning, everybody.
Hello.
Let's see.
I apologize for leaving you off the list, Angie. My biggest career issue has been people doing what I asked them to do instead of what I meant.
It's okay, Wayne. You're forgiven.
Sorry, Angie, I didn't pick up on it.
It's okay. I was like,
Well,
sure is
get together, I was going to run through a belt line, I think.
Hey, y'all. Hey,
Hey, Jamie.
we had somebody join that says Galaxy A20. Who is this? I don't know.
They're on mute right now.
I see that. Let me see. Huh.
Oh.
I guess we'll do roll call at some point.
Yeah.
So is everybody working from home today, or is there someone actually in an office, or?
I will be going in the office this afternoon. My password is 2 days from expiring.
Okay. Are the lobbies open now?
No.
No. Okay.
We're teleworking until the end of 2020.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And a lot of, offices are shut down, and if people want to enter the Whitfield County office, they have to get prior approval from the director.
Huh.
So it's pretty much on lockdown right now.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Let's see. I got 10:33.
Okay. And there's 10 of us
Should we
here now.
hold on for a minute, or do you think?
Well, I had to download Zoom, and I didn't realize I didn't have it on the computer. So it took me a minute if they don't have Zoom.
Yeah. I think Maria joined us. Hey, Maria.
Hey.
So we got 10 people out of how many?
We do. I think I sent it out to 13. So.
Okay. Well, I think 10 out of 13 is pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's what I sent out.
Okay. We'll go ahead and begin.
Okay.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us. This is a historic event for sure. In their past 50 years or so of GPHSA, this will be the first time we've done a virtual event. Even in times past when maybe we weren't provided with the budget to have a some sort of conference, we were able to meet face to face. But in this environment, this pandemic that hopefully comes once every 100 years, we decided to go ahead and just do things virtually. I think it's what people are used to anyway right now. And really with the budget, I don't think it's really a good time to travel for events. And it's funny because I think a few months ago, I was hoping that by August, September, we'd be over the first wave and people would be anxious to get out and go to conferences and that type of thing. But how wrong I was. It seems like we're still in the first wave and things just continue as far as the pandemic to increase. So yeah, this is historic. So thank you for calling in. This will be a brainstorming session, really just to get an idea of kind of how to proceed with this, since this is new and new technology, the agenda was sent out, a draft agenda was sent out by Wayne for the annual business meeting, and it follows pretty much the same format. But if y'all have any other ideas or anything you want to add, or just ideas to throw out, please throw them out. So let's see, and I see the agenda Rhonda put up on the screen. Thank you, Rhonda. So I see opening comments, and I just did that. Angie, did you want to say anything?
I just think you covered it all. It is a new world, and it'll just be interesting to see how it goes, but I think it'll still be great. So I'm just excited to see what we come up with for the annual meeting.
Absolutely. All right. So let's go around and see who's on. If y'all can, some of y'all recognize, and there's probably one I'd say name I don't recognize. So Rhonda, you're on. Wayne Drummond, the illustrious Wayne Drummond, and then Angie Thompson, Jamie Sellers, Maria Horton, Lynn Green. See, Tori, you're on. Hi, Tori.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Miss Holloway, you're on.
Yeah, it's Brooke, but for some reason it abbreviated me to BR this morning.
Brill Holloway, nice to have you on. And then Galaxy A20, we were wondering who, is that your phone you're on? I guess the Galaxy, okay. Can you hear us okay?
I can, yeah.
Okay. We're having a little hard time hearing you.
Okay, you hear me?
Okay, yes.
Okay.
And who is it?
Diana.
Diana, okay. Great.
And I think did I miss anybody? I think that was it. Okay. Well, it says participants will announce their name, but I just announced everybody. So there you go, Wayne. So let's go ahead and get into it. So we have the draft agenda. If you could scroll down, Rhonda, just a little bit. It's a little
more.
For some reason, it's a little, that's good. I think for some reason, it's a little pixelated. There it is. It's a little, I can focus a little bit better on it. So for the annual meeting, we have welcome, committee reports. Y'all can read that. Does anyone have a hard time reading the agenda?
If so, I can email it to you.
A little blurry, but I can figure it out.
Okay.
Okay. So what do y'all think?
I need to spell Jamie's name correctly.
Wayne, you do that quite often, so it's whatever you want to call me. It's okay.
Sorry about that.
Wayne, under under the awards where it's got the Nebel Award, where it says I have not heard from, you haven't heard from the
Oh, didn't complete my sentence. So apparently, I did reach out to the NEBOs to let them know that we had canceled the annual conference, that we would be having some kind of virtual meeting, and I've not heard back from them, so I don't know what to expect regarding that. I will do some follow-up with them. I hope they're well and okay, but it's been about 3 weeks, and usually they're fairly prompt in responding when I reach out to them. So I think we would probably elect to continue the award unless for some reason they said no, but I'm not sure other than that, since I've not heard from them.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll continue with the award unless we hear otherwise, and that you may hear back from them soon anyway, at least before the event.
I'll reach out to them again this week, and I think I've got a phone number I can dig up if I need to.
Okay.
So.
Looks like Jan Prescott just joined us. Hey, Jan. Or she tried. Maybe she'll come back on. Oh, see, she's here.
There is a delay when you enter for your audio to get connected.
Yeah.
So, Jan, are you on? Okay. So, what do y'all think about the agenda? I mean, right now it's pretty straightforward. And if y'all have any ideas of something we can add to it.
I mean, I think it looks good. I don't see anything that maybe needed to be added or anything.
Mm-hmm.
My late night thought last evening was to build on some of our other events and determine if we wanted to have a formal attire or a masquerade ball or some kind of thing to spice the event up. I'm not sure what that looks like. Probably a dance is not in order, but
we could have a cocktail hour though. We could all have a cocktail at the same time.
That's true. We can.
Yep.
I think we might welcome everyone to that, to show off their fine threads in the event if they wanted to do that. Just trying to think of something that might add a little bit of levity and fun to the event. I'm not sure what all that looks like, but that was it occurred to me last evening.
Well, just throwing it out again, just for conversation. What do y'all think about adding like some sort of guest speaker or something to the event?
I think that's a good idea. Also, I want to add that Susan Cooper's trying to get on as well.
Maybe some kind of motivational type speaker, Jonathan. Is that what you're thinking? Something to like pick people up, because I know like morale's a concern right now with like everything that's going on.
Hey, Susan.
I finally got on. It took me a minute.
Well, welcome. We are. Can you see the agenda on your screen?
I can.
Okay. We're just going over this agenda and just talking about any kind of ideas, to add to the agenda. And we're just discussing, maybe adding some sort of speaker.
Oh, okay.
And, Angie suggested maybe some sort of motivational speaker, since a lot of people are feeling a little down, maybe.
I think that would be a very good idea, yes. I wonder if we could get anybody from EAP. I don't know if anybody thought about that.
That'd be a good idea, Susan.
That would be a good idea.
But they've come up
Yeah.
with lots of stuff dealing with everybody being home and the pandemic and stuff.
Yeah, one thing that's a challenge is, being compelling on video.
Yeah.
Because that's something I've struggled with is I'm used to talking to people face to face and crowds and groups people, but with video it's so different. Everyone just has this kind of blank stare on the screen looking at you no matter what you say. So
Well, I know they've had a lot of experience with that because they've been sending us stuff,
Yeah.
so they might be good with the video thing.
Yeah, definitely a good idea. I do want to avoid a training feel to it, if that makes sense. I think it's something more kind of motivational. I would say 15 minutes max.
Yeah, not long. Yeah, I think they would probably do good with that.
Okay.
I was thinking about something last night because with our committees, especially OFI committee participation being low, I think it was back in March, I'd sent out an email to participants and got no responses back. Nothing at all, asking for ideas, just try to pre-plan for our next meeting. But I think we may be able to do a little bit more outreach being virtual and holding some kind of virtual committee meetings where people might be willing to at least listen.
Yeah, I agree, Jamie, because I've done that reach out multiple times with OFI members, and I've gotten crickets each time. And I was hoping that maybe if we could even have some stuff pre-recorded, or if I could just send it out in emails, that maybe I could boost some involvement that way. But really, it seems like people are, for OFI anyway, they go to the conferences, they network, and then it gives them someone to reach out to when they have issues, future tense. So the networking aspect of when the OFI committee meets has been really advantageous to some of our members.
I know one thing, the post I sent out a post just to admin staff, and so it's kind of connected them. So I don't know if y'all could do start some kind of OFI post, and you just you add people to the group as people show interest, or somebody will suggest somebody. But maybe you could just do an OFI committee post of some kind once a month or something.
Yeah, I'm totally down to do that. I think that's a good idea.
One thing about this new reality is we often meet before we've met, face to face, and that in a way limits us, meaning that you think of things in terms of borders, like regions, or meeting within regions or districts, or people who are just traveling to a conference or what have you. And this really provides an opportunity for people to meet anywhere, and so we can redefine our groups and boundaries. So it's not, people are not limited by travel. People really just, I guess, limited by time. And if they have time during the day, whatever time you schedule to meet. But I found that with virtual meetings, we're getting a lot of people participating because when we had, prior to pandemic, we had a regional cadence. We would have, 30 people on the call, 30, 40 people. Now we're frequently up to 150 people on the call, just because people are not, it just seems there's more participation all around on these calls. So I guess I say with OFI, and actually all the committees, I think can meet virtually, and probably would be surprised by the results. If you just set up a time, hey, we're going to meet, if you're interested in this, setting up a Teams or a Zoom meeting, you might be surprised about how many people actually participate.
Yeah, we've had a couple of membership meetings, and we've had a good turnout every time we've done that. We did it on Teams as well. We did it.
That's what I was just thinking. It would be, it might be interesting to almost advertise when the committees are meeting, so that people could jump in and see what the committees are about. Because I think people don't join committees because they don't know what's involved, and they think if they attend a committee, they have to join it. And they really just want to see what they're about. So maybe if we posted a schedule of, in the month of August, this is when each committee is going to meet on Zoom. With the links, people could jump in and listen. We might get some more interest.
That's a good idea.
I like that. Yeah, that is a good idea.
We can make it more, informational, and actually explaining, things we've done in the past, things we currently do, and, things we've done last year or so, and actually let them know what we're doing. Because I think that's a lot of confusion. They come to the meetings and we're in the middle of something or some progress, and, they're like, we don't know what you're doing. So
I think also if we had them more frequently instead of just because we've really just been having them at the meetings, we don't see a lot of progress. You can have some really great ideas at the meetings, and then we get really busy and don't talk about them again until the next meeting. And so if one thing that I had committed to, and then I guess, of course, have dropped the ball on, was having updates every month. And so I will recommit to that, to have technology committee updates. Every month we can get together and just for a quick update on what have we done, what are we doing for the next month, and make plans going forward so that we don't fall behind and we don't get lax as a group, and so that we also hopefully expand our group.
I think being accountable, because I know I need that, because it is easy to get caught up in other stuff. So the whole accountability piece would help. If you're going to be every month at a certain time.
Yeah, I love this conversation,
And not only that,
love it. Go on. Was that Jan?
Yes.
Did Jan freeze?
yeah, I was gonna say a lot of I said a lot of people don't go to the meetings, the annual meetings and all, but they're members because there was only so many per county could go. So if I really didn't go, and I think this having it virtual meetings and having it more often than just when we do have a meeting scheduled once a quarter, it's better because I can go more like this. I could participate more.
Yeah, I agree.
I heard a suggestion of publishing a schedule of committee meetings. Would you like for us to reach out to committee chairs? And we could offer this as a platform on an ongoing basis for the next year for anyone that wants to use it. We'll be happy to set that up. But I believe that we could put the schedule out and probably include a meeting link for when the meeting is scheduled in the communication to membership, and be very inclusive with that if that's something we want to do. If you want us to move that ahead, that's something that we'd be happy to work on. The opening it up broadly does lend some possibility for other folks who are not members to get the link and participate. I don't see a downside to that, but that's I've had other folks to express concern about whether folks were participating that shouldn't be, etc.
Well, I think we can put some maybe some ground rules, or at least talk to the committee chairs about, as far as coordinating and making sure they, some sort of roll call or some sort of way to acknowledge who's on the call. Because my wife is part of the teachers union, and they have calls like this, virtual calls, and they make sure they know who's on the call and who's not on the call. It should be open to any. I'm fine with anybody being on the call, but just acknowledging. I think just a simple acknowledgement of who's on the call would go a long way. And I think this is a great idea, folks. And really, I think it's kind of taking a disadvantage and turning it into an advantage, because what y'all are talking about is with conferences and committee members meeting at conferences, you always have this rotation of people, and people who were at one meeting was not necessarily at the last meeting. And so you constantly have to kind of repeat things, and it's hard to get momentum. But if you take away that barrier of travel and just have these regular Zoom type meetings, and I think after a few meetings, I think you could generate a lot of momentum and accomplish a lot more. So I think this is a great idea, folks.
I like it. I like it.
Okay. Any more thoughts on that idea as we move back to the agenda? So maybe Wayne sends out a list, and with coordinating with the committee chairs of scheduling, and have it just, would you say it'd just be one email with all the different committees and their links and the times they meet? Is that what you were thinking?
Yeah, basically, if committee chairs want to do this, and I think that's some may be able to, some may not, but if they could just set a time that they think would be good, then we could put one email out to membership sharing. And Rhonda, stop me if I I think you understand all the Zoom better than I do, but we should be able to say OFI meeting August 13th at 10 o'clock, and with a link to that, and then social services August 5th, etc. So I think that seems to be quite doable.
It is. We can schedule all of those. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think we can get that out, and we may. I hope that this platform will allow us to do a lot of things that are engaging and creative. And if any of you have any idea for doing this, if we want to do our quarterly meetings, membership drives, or any kind of thing like that, the platform is available. It sort of seemed to me that we're going to need something to enhance our communications probably for the next year. I'm not sure that it's an ongoing thing. And Zoom seemed to be more flexible for people outside our system, and although I could be wrong about that. Long story short, we have a commitment now and a platform we can use for any purpose.
Okay, I'm excited about that.
Yeah, good.
Okay, so we're going to rock and roll with the committees. As far as, let's get back to the agenda though. And does anyone have anything? I think the main thing is, I think it'd be good to have a speaker, but we just got to make sure that it is a compelling speaker, because I've noticed too with virtual calls, it's really, it's hard to engage people, so I think it takes a special person to do that. So I want to make sure we get the right person.
We have ideas.
But yeah, let's go talk about ideas. We mentioned EAP as an idea, someone from EAP.
We could reach out to one of our past.
Jan, can I ask?
Please. Go ahead, Jan.
Um, how many committees do we have and what are they? Because I know we have the, excuse me, the OFI, the social services, the technology. What other committees?
Membership.
Outreach,
If legislative,
membership. Would that be in with outreach?
yeah, there's not an outreach committee. There is a membership committee, and I think for outreach for membership, it
Okay.
does have outreach, yes.
Okay. So we have OFI, social services, technology, membership, and legislative.
Yeah, there may be, there's a list on the website. I think not all of them are active or staffed. But that's off the top of my head, that's a pretty good list.
Yeah, there's OFI,
Okay.
social services, education and training, finance, legislative, membership, and technology.
Thank you, Jan.
Okay.
Okay. So Wayne, you were saying you're about a suggestion regarding a speaker.
I was wondering about reaching out to one of our past speakers like Rick Lozano and see if somebody would be willing to compass 15 minutes by way of a motivational type speech if we wanted to go that direction. I'm not, I can't see paying the kind of fee we normally pay for an event, but for a 15-minute stint, that might be a possibility. I like the idea of a speaker. The real trick is figuring out who and what we want.
Exactly. And Wayne, the way I'm looking at this is more about icing on the cake, meaning if we don't have icing on that cake, I think it's good enough to eat anyway. But I'd rather have good icing than bad icing too. So if we're able to find someone, we can reach out to, if anyone on the call, do y'all have any ideas, other ideas?
Who is it that we would look to? Because I don't know anyone. I mean, I don't know what type of person or how. Is it just someone who we, I guess, discussed in one of our meetings, or not discussed, maybe met, like personally met? I'm not exactly who I should reach out to, if anyone, just to give a suggestion. Because I never saw many people in the past that you're referring to. I never saw them speaking, so I can't say, yeah, that'll be a perfect person. Or
James Beneker's a good motivational speaker.
I was thinking, that was who I was thinking of.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He'd be free.
Yeah, it'd be free.
No, I think we all just agreed. We've all told James to do.
Yeah. For free.
Got a plan? Sounds like one.
I mean, James is a good speaker for sure.
So I was doing just like a quick search for virtual, like keynote speakers and stuff like that. And they are pretty pricey and lengthy.
Yeah.
And if we're just wanting to do 15 minutes, I think it's going to narrow down our options big time.
Yeah. I just don't see people in an event like this wanting to listen to someone go on for an hour. virtually.
No, everybody will be doing other stuff.
Yeah.
It'll be great.
Yeah. Any other ideas, speaker? You hear Mr. Vinegar? That's a good suggestion.
I'm trying to think of his name.
I seen somebody at Macon one time. It was that Lisa Boatman. Maybe she was a speaker.
Yeah,
she
I know.
was a really good public speaker. Like
I
really.
know
Good. I think
know
she's like a supervisor in services.
I know who you're referring to. She's no longer with our agency, so
yeah, never mind.
I don't think it'd be a good idea.
No.
I think Brandy Collins, she's with social services. She is a great speaker, great motivational speaker.
I don't think I know her.
And she's with the agency.
I had a motivational speaker for a class I did with Matt Glover recently, and I cannot remember his name. I'm looking real quick to see if I can find it, because he just fascinated me. Very motivational. He was a football player. Tori, you may know who I'm talking about.
Yes. I can't think of his name, but yes, I do know who you're talking about.
Does he happen to work for the education department?
Yes.
That's him. Gosh, I can't think of his name.
It's something like Higdon.
I think so.
Al Higdon, or I can reach out to Matt Glover. I can't recall his name, but I know who you're talking about. He is very very good. I've been in class once.
What's the date? I'm sorry, I should know this.
Okay, so before we move on, because we're going to move on to that. That's next, Lynn, for us to decide on the date. So anybody else want to throw out any names? Or Lynn, were you going somewhere else with that question?
I was just asking because I was looking at, is there any type of theme or topic around that month, or and I was just looking back at some of the EAP online seminars, and they've got some good ones coming up, and I don't know if you've ever looked at some of those. I've shared some of those with our staff. They've got some good ones coming up on like mental strength and building resilience and work-life balance. But they've got some too on juggling work demands while homeschooling your children. And so depending on when, as we're heading into the holidays, I didn't know, when we plan on having the meeting, if there's a specific topic that would kind of go in line with that.
Well, let's move on then. If anyone has any suggestions about speakers, please let Wayne and I know. But we'll move on on the agenda today and talk about the time of doing this event. So what are y'all thoughts on that?
Are we looking at August or September, or what are we looking?
In my mind, and for no good reason other than I was just thinking September, but it's time to open for discussion as far as what y'all think. Hilton Alexander, by the way, thank you, Tori. That was his name.
Awesome, thank you.
I'm gonna say Higdon. Okay, yeah, I was off. Hilton.
I think September would be better. That way we could get maybe more come on to it. We could promote it. We're having GPHSA meeting in September. It's virtual through Zoom. We would like you to, if you're a member, send it out to members, please join. Maybe send more than one email.
Absolutely.
I think if we keep the original date for the meeting, the 1st or 2nd for the actual GPHSA meeting, and then hold committee meetings in August. That way it gives enough time, because I know like for OFI right now, we just pushed out renewals. So August is a good month for us to still be able to meet so far.
Yes.
But as far as September, going too far into it, if we go any later past that first week, I think it's going to be more difficult as far as participation. And that's just from the OFI standpoint. I don't know about service.
What,
I was
excuse me,
looking at my
Wayne,
calendar. I don't see.
what are the dates for the,
Day,
I'm sorry, what are the dates for the election? Do we have those set yet? Will we have enough time to have our installation of officers ready?
Jane, you're breaking up a little bit. I think you were asking when are we going, I think this does coordinate with officers, meaning that we need to do things in order. We gotta make sure we have officers before we announce them. So but I think as far as timeframes with that, we have not decided that either. But Wayne, what were you thinking about? I'm thinking in August we would have that.
We have a proposal out to the committee for a couple of events. We're hoping to get job one is pulling a list of eligible voters. And then job two is publishing a ballot and hopefully at the same time publishing a scheduled event for officers, officer candidates for the two contested elections to have a 1 hour forum on Zoom, and proposed to the nominations committee and copied some other folks I plan to ask them each of the have two separate 1 hour forums and have 3 questions and propose a timeline to keep it sort of within the scope of an hour. The theory was being to have the election to conclude by the end of the month of August in anticipation of our being able to do the meeting in September. That I think that still think that's tenable. We can move it. We can't move it forward. I don't think we could move it out if we chose to do so. But that's sort of we were working on that this week. I think Rhonda's about ready to pull the list. We've been cleaning up our membership and following up one last time with people who pay by check and PayPal and are trying to get all of that in order. But we're ready to send out a ballot. We've got a proposal out for the candidate forum. We would probably, I'm recommending if we go with a question and answer type thing, that we share the questions in advance to the candidates so that people have a chance to sign on to Zoom and hear from the candidates in deciding who they want to vote for. Short answer, we should be able to complete the election by the end of I don't think we could move it ahead. We could move it out if we wanted to for some reason.
Okay. So definitely with it needs to be, I would say September, because we don't want to go into October with this meeting. So I guess Wayne, and honestly, it does not matter to me at all. With this virtual meeting, it could be beginning, middle, or end of September. It really doesn't matter to me. But Wayne, what do you think as far as what? Because I don't want to put any pressure, too much pressure as far as the time frames. And so, if you are you good with beginning of September, or you think the end of September will give you more time.
Yeah. Now, I think for what we've laid out as a scope of work, we could do the first week of September and keep the date that we had. It sounds like that would enhance OFI participation. And I think the important thing now is to go ahead and get word out and then think about what promotion looks like and how we want to. He has some ideas about, I like the idea of multiple ways of communicating, but I think if we go ahead and communicate now and early and then think of some creative ways to follow up with that, then we could do the first week of September. And it's not a matter of, I believe that timeline is very feasible in terms of what we have to do here. The other, I have a schedule that's very limited, but the other side of that is that this is the primary scope of work right now. If we go over budget in August, then we'll take some time off or I will in September to accommodate. We can do this in September if we can do it whenever you want. I wouldn't go before September the 1st. I think anytime there or afterwards is great.
Thank you, Wayne. And again, it does. I'm okay keeping it the first week of September. It doesn't matter to me. Does anyone else have any other thoughts about it? About the time?
My other thought is if we have the committee meetings like late August, and then we have the annual meeting shortly after, it'll help with participation versus, extending it for too long.
Okay.
If we're able to.
Wednesday the 2nd or Thursday the 3rd?
I vote for the 2nd.
I'm good with the 2nd. I'm good either one of those days. So.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, no strong preference for me either. How about time? You want to throw that out there?
Anytime.
Anytime.
No,
do like 10?
One cadence is in the morning, so.
Yeah, I think 9 and 10. I think a lot of people seem to have a lot of stuff going on then. I don't know.
Maybe afternoon.
Yeah.
About
Give
2
it
o'clock.
2 o'clock. Yeah.
How long do we think the meeting's going to last?
Well, this looks like it looks like in between an hour to maybe 2 hours max. I think we could probably, looking at this agenda, it could be done in an hour, but I'm thinking with Zoom and if we have a guest speaker, maybe a little bit more than that. I think I would rather schedule for 2 hours and it be shorter than schedule an hour and it go over.
My thinking is I just wouldn't push it past 4 o'clock. That way for like the end of the day stuff that comes popping in.
I agree.
1:30 to 3:30 or 2 to 4?
I like 2 to 4.
I think that's fine.
Yeah, I'm good with 2 to 4.
And did we go with the 2nd? I didn't write it down, which is
No,
Wednesday.
I don't think anyone had a strong preference. Maybe someone said Wednesday as a preference, but I don't think. So let's go Wednesday.
Okay, great.
Okay. what's next? The screen's a little blurry. Do we want to have a theme? I don't know if that's even if we need a theme other than it being the pandemic. Our pandemic meeting. Our special
Membership, we've been trying to come up with something we could do fun virtually, you know, because we always have something. So we haven't yet, but I don't know. We can, whatever the theme, we can connect it with that somehow.
I think something after 5 would be good. A little social gathering. People wear their tuxes, like Wayne suggested, a formal wear.
Yeah.
Angie's shaking her head. No. Yeah, okay. Our special social distancing GPHSA event. Okay.
Also a full moon that day.
What's that?
There's a full moon that day.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
No.
Nothing. Okay. Next, we have the discussion of date and time for the board meeting. Wayne, is there anything we need to keep in mind with that as far as the timing?
I think we probably would be good to have, it's certainly not on the same day, I would think. It may be good to have the board meeting before that, because we've got some technicalities in terms of installing the officers who are not running for election, and some other thing. I don't know that it needs to be a long meeting, but it probably either we could do it earlier that week or the week before. We needed to just basically have a plan for that. I'm totally open. We can pull it off, but I think either that same week before this meeting or the week before, whatever time suits the group, we could do, and probably do it on this platform and keep the agenda fairly circumspect. But it'd be good to have those housekeeping things of formally voting to install the to appoint the officers to fill the expiring term for where we don't have an election.
Well, that Monday is August 31st, and the Tuesday is the 1st, if we want to do it that week. Again, I can do it anytime, both that week or the week before works out for me. Does anyone have any thoughts they want to add, or any?
I'm pretty much open right now, so kind of like you, Jonathan. Any of that time works for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it helps when we can just not have to wear pants these days with scheduling. Is the 1st okay with you guys? I mean,
yeah, I think that'd be better than the 31st.
$1:30?
1:30 works for me.
Yeah.
Doing about the November meeting, I just we have an agreement to go to Brasstown. That track rock room is pretty big. Distance. I'm not. I just have been wondering about that. I think we're well within our bounds for declaring it to be impossible, and we don't have to settle on that today, but I think we need to be thinking to make a decision. We don't have to respond or make a decision today, but I've been wondering about what to do about that, and I just wanted to put it out there for reflection. Maybe that could be discussed at the board meeting.
Yeah, I think that'd be a great topic of discussion, and I'm glad Angie's going to be making that decision.
Thanks, John. Appreciate it.
leading towards canceling the legislative reception. I don't see how any way that that's going to work, but we've got some lead time on that. But we just need to be sort of reflecting as this evolves on how we adjust to the climate. So,
Indeed.
I'll send out some ideas for themes. Did we, and we'll work on getting a notice out about the board meeting. I should be able to get that out this week. And the annual conference. Did we poop out the idea of dressing up, or I don't care. It's just I don't have a theme today, and I don't have any other things that could make it fun. So we can do whatever we want to do, but I have some sense of at least getting a save the date and time out, and then outreach to long range planning and the board to ask for themes and any other ideas to spruce the event up, and we can then use that as a basis for follow-up communications.
I think Susan and Wayne should do virtual karaoke.
I'm up for it, Wayne. What about you?
I don't know. I'm game for anything at this point, as long as I don't have to go anywhere. So I've been. It's been a very entertaining time for me, and unfortunately for the rest of the world. This has created some opportunity for me to get closer to having some additional free time, and I've been thoroughly enjoying life, and very sad about all of the negative consequences it has for so many folks. But there are some bright spots in this. So anything you want to do, I'm game for it. So.
All right. I guess if anyone has any other ideas, just send them our way. Send them to me, Wayne. Just let us know if y'all have any. And Susan, you'll be working on the after hours event.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, guys. Is there anything else, Wayne, that we need to talk about today?
No, we'll try see what happens with this recording. I think Maria talked about that, but Maria, if I want to see if we can, we're going to test the recording. If so, it would be good to see if I can upload it to the website and get some help with that. But we could send you a link to the recording if there's if we were able to pull that off. So we'll work on that as well, because in theory, the one theoretical meeting would be to film it and make it available if wanted to see it, but we have not tested that theory. Long story short, I'll try to see if we can use the recording, do it. I'll send Maria a link if she wants something for.
Yeah, that would be perfect.
4 minutes, or we can just. Okay, good. All right, that's all I have.
Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to add before we conclude the call?
I want to appreciate Wayne and Jonathan and y'all's leadership during this crazy time.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Susan. You know, and Wayne has been fantastic through all this. I'll just say that it is a very unique time. And, you know, there's also been a shift recently where before, I think we were just kind of trying to get through something quickly and maybe go back to normal. But now that we are going to be teleworking for a very long time now, and at least until 2021, and possibly longer, and especially the OFI, our OFI friends will probably be teleworking from here on out. I mean, I don't know, but it's it's the shift of, you know, trying to maintain a temporary thing until we get back to normal. Now this is a new normal, at least for the foreseeable future, and because of that, you know, it's reassessing work, reassessing really your life. Not to get too deep, but it's like it does shift your perspective on things. I know that I've been able to focus on things I've neglected at home. You know, it's given me a great opportunity to do that. But you know, this is a time too, guys. If y'all, I know that, you know, you had wonderful plans for the pandemic. Y'all were going to all work out. Y'all were going to eat healthy, get new habits. And I'm sure if you're like me, those went out the window 2 weeks into the pandemic. But it's still time to reflect. It's not ever too late to get back to all those plans you had to better yourself and to better your relationships with others. So this is an interesting time. I'm excited to see about how this annual meeting goes, but also I'm really excited about the idea that the committees meeting virtually. I believe that this is actually a blessing in disguise, that we can utilize this as a way for us to be more connected throughout the state, that there's not those boundaries anymore we used to have as GPHSA, because we'd have 1 or 2 people from, you know, one region, 1 or 2 people from the other region, and then that would shift from time to time. And so it's almost this, let's get back to know each other. And so I think with this virtual platform, the sky's the limit when it comes to committees, and maybe we can really get a lot more momentum going. So I'm excited, really excited about that conversation. So let's see how that goes. But anyway, I've rambled long enough. And I appreciate everybody being on the call. Thank you for your input. It's much appreciated. And again, thank you, Wayne, for all your wonderful work. And also Rhonda, welcome. And thank you for, you know, she's come on board and she's done a tremendous job. So thank you, Rhonda.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, guys. If there's nothing else, y'all have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Bye.
Good to see everybody.
Wait, are you done with the call? No.
Yes, I'm done with the call, but listen, girl, you and I.
Hang up.
Oh, I thought I did.